Long ago, in the quiet lands of the ancient Middle East, there were vast deserts that stretched farther than the eye could see. During the day, the sun painted the sand with golden light, but at night, something magical happened. The sky would slowly darken, and thousands of stars would begin to shine above the silent desert. The wind would move softly across the sand dunes, creating a peaceful sound that echoed across the land. It was in this quiet and mysterious world that one of the oldest spiritual stories in human history began. One calm evening, a thoughtful man stood outside his tent, gazing up at the endless sky. His name was Abraham. He looked at the countless stars above him and wondered about the mystery of the universe. Who created these stars? Who formed the earth, the sky, and all living things? As he watched the night sky, Abraham began to believe that behind all creation there must be one great and powerful creator. This belief was different from many traditions of the time. While others believed in many gods, Abraham believed that there was one single God who created and guided the universe. Over time, this idea became the foundation of a spiritual path that would later be known as Judaism. Abraham shared his belief with his family and those around him. Slowly, generation after generation, the story of one creator continued to be passed down. Families would gather at night near small fires, telling their children stories about faith, hope, and the promise that their people had a special journey ahead of them. Years passed, then centuries. The descendants of Abraham grew into a large community. But history is rarely easy, and their journey soon faced many challenges. At one point in time, the people of Israel lived under difficult conditions far from their homeland. Life was hard, and many longed for freedom and guidance. It was during this time that another important figure appeared in the story. His name was Moses. Moses was known for his courage and deep sense of responsibility. According to ancient tradition, one day Moses encountered a strange and powerful sign in the desert. He saw a bush that burned with fire, yet the branches were not destroyed by the flames. In that mysterious moment, Moses felt that he was being called to guide his people toward a better future. And so a great journey began. Moses led his people across deserts and wilderness. They traveled under the bright sun during the day and rested beneath the endless stars at night. Children walked beside their parents. Elders shared stories and wisdom. Hope slowly grew among the travelers as they moved forward together. After a long journey, they arrived near a great and powerful mountain. This mountain would become one of the most important places in their history. It was called Mount Sinai. The mountain stood tall against the sky, surrounded by silence and mystery. According to tradition, Moses climbed the mountain to receive guidance from God. There, he received sacred teachings meant to guide the lives of his people. These teachings later became known as the 10 Commandments. They were simple yet powerful principles that taught people how to live with kindness, honesty, and respect. They encouraged people to value truth, to avoid harming others, to build communities based on justice and compassion. These teachings were eventually written down in sacred writings. The most important of these writings became known as the Torah. For Jewish people, the Torah is not just a book, it is a guide to life, history, and identity. Inside its scrolls are stories of ancestors, journeys across deserts, moments of faith, and lessons meant to be remembered forever. As centuries passed, Jewish communities spread to many different parts of the world. Some settled in new cities and villages, others traveled across continents. Sometimes they lived in peace, sometimes they faced hardship and struggle. Yet through every generation they carried their traditions with them. Wherever they went, they continued to tell the same ancient stories. Stories about Abraham watching the stars, stories about Moses climbing a sacred mountain, stories of faith, perseverance, and hope. In many Jewish homes, a quiet and beautiful tradition continues to this day. When evening comes and the world begins to slow down, families gather together. Candles are gently lit. Soft prayers are spoken. Parents and grandparents share stories from long ago. Children listen carefully as the warm candlelight flickers across the room. They hear about deserts, mountains, and brave journeys. They imagine the starry skies their ancestors once saw thousands of years ago. And slowly, as the stories continue, their eyes begin to close. The calm rhythm of the storyteller's voice blends with the quiet of the night. Outside, the stars shine just as they did long ago in the ancient desert. The wind moves softly through the world. Time continues its endless journey forward. Yet the stories remain. Stories of faith, stories of hope, stories that have traveled through thousands of years of history. And now, as the night grows deeper and the stars glow softly above the earth, the world becomes quiet once again, just like those ancient desert nights. The sky is calm, the air is still, and slowly, peacefully, sleep begins to arrive. Good night.